This is the third and final video for Chapter 2, Marketing Strategy Planning. Now, the first thing that the book refers to in this section here is a case study using Ford as their example. Now, what you need to remember quickly before I go into this case study is that marketing strategy planning, it is emphasized in this entire presentation because the strategic decisions, usually determine success or failure. And this planning is a critical aspect of that. And these decisions need to evolve and need to adapt to the continually changing needs and wants of the customers. Things just don't stay the same. Ford's a good example because automobiles, from the time Ford started with their Model T in the 20s to where they are today, there are drastic changes that occur. And so let's just go right into the case study. Just a little bit of history here. This is all in your book, by the way, on pages 47 through 49, I believe. Henry Ford built his assembly line to produce the Model T. The assembly line helped him to make cars faster and less expensive than his competition. By the early 1920s, the Model T sold for $290, and the price point was low enough that it was able to appeal to a larger market, not just the rich. By the mid-1920s, Ford began to see a lot more competition in the industry, so they realized that they had to become more market-oriented. And in doing so, they produced a new model, which they called the Model A, and this one came in more than 20 different styles. The Model T was, you see it, you get it, it's exactly how it is. The Model A gave them a lot of options, a lot of different options to be able to buy. By the mid-1950s, now fast forward 30 years or so, and the company needed a new line of cars, which was positioned between the economical and the upscale models. And what they did, they created a model called the Edsel. Unfortunately for Ford, this became a major failure. In 1961, they saw an opportunity for a sports car, and by 1964, they launched the Mustang, which has been a huge success, their go-to vehicle even today. In the 1970s, gas prices went up dramatically, and the United States government, mandated that cars have less pollution, and Ford was struggling to find a way to get a marketing strategy to meet these demands and still appeal to the customers. But what Ford has really done well was, and where they've made a lot of money actually, has been in the truck and SUV segments. They've done extremely well, especially with their Ford F-150 line. Now, Ford also was investing a lot into a gas-electric hybrid technology to try to gain a major advantage with fuel economy. And in 2004, the first hybrid Ford Escape SUV was introduced in 2004, so that's been 10 years now. Ford and Microsoft have worked together in cooperation to develop the sync technology that you see with in-car communications and entertainment. And Ford used an interesting marketing campaign to launch the Ford Fiesta, their subcompact car. And what they did, they loaned out 100 Fiestas to what they referred to as social agents, people who were chosen from more than 4,000 people who applied online, who were social trendsetters, and they chronicled their experiences with the cars on social media so that people would be able to follow them, all over, all the days, all day, any day, pretty much. So this case study demonstrates that changes in the market are always happening. People's needs and wants are always changing, and that planning for your product, your good or service that you are offering needs to continue up and stay ahead of those changes. Now, looking at potential opportunities, what you need to understand first off is what a breakthrough opportunity is. And a breakthrough opportunity is one that helps innovators, people who are creative and coming up with new ideas. These innovators, it helps them to develop hard-to-copy marketing strategies. Some marketing strategies are very easy to copy and not very effective in that regard, because then the competition can just buy into it as well. But you want to try to come up with these hard-to-copy marketing strategies that are going to be profitable not just for the short term but for the long haul. To be able to gain a competitive advantage, for a competitive advantage, a firm has to have a marketing mix. Again, those are your 4 P's of marketing, that the target market sees as being better than the competition's marketing mix. Okay, the price, the product, the place, promotion. This is all based upon the customer's perspective, not what the firm thinks, but what the customer thinks is an advantage. And it can be achieved through any of the 4 P's of marketing, based upon what the other competition is doing as well. Now this is just a thought question for you. Think about the pizza business. You know, major national chains. You have Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Little Caesars you could throw in there as well. Can you come up with a competitive advantage for each of these chains in comparison to the other chains based upon what customers think the advantage is? Not what the company says, but what the customers think. All right, just a question to think about there for you. Lastly, marketers must avoid hit or miss marketing. You need to have some sort of a logical marketing strategy process, some planning to going on there to try to avoid this hit or miss, just kind of flying by the seat of your pants approach. And you have to base your information and your marketing on sound research. You need to know what people truly are thinking and what they want. This slide here, what I want you to be aware of is that right in the middle, the SWOT analysis, this is an important aspect here. The 4 P's of marketing, again, make up the marketing mix on the right-hand side. And they are combined in different ways to match the needs and wants of different target markets, to be able to find out what the customers need and want, what companies need or want, because they could be customers as well, what are the current competitors offering. And what we're looking at here is that you need to understand, first of all, the customer is not part of the marketing mix, because the marketing mix is controllable, the customers are not. The 4 P's are things that the marketing company, the marketing department can control, as I mentioned. They cannot control the external market environment. That can be the economy, technological advances, things like that. Again, the customers are there. Competition, they cannot control. And even on a short-term basis, they can't control the company's current strengths and weaknesses. Now, this SWOT analysis, the marketing manager, whoever is overseeing this, they organize all of these factors into this SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The strengths and weaknesses relate to the company, okay, while external factors like the market environment, customers, and all that are in the category of the weaknesses and the threats. So strengths and opportunities are related to the company. Weaknesses and threats are for the external market environment, things that they cannot control. All right, so that's an important quality to remember. A SWOT analysis, just so you're aware, that's something that you're definitely going to want to know and be aware of, as is this slide here. This slide will be carried over into a couple other slides. So this is the slide where I'm going to be focusing a lot of attention, because I'll be using examples from this slide that are actually shown on some other slides. So just so you're aware of that. What we're looking at here in the blue diagram there, you're going to see market penetration, product development, market development, and diversification. And these are 4 areas that you're going to need to be completely aware of. Now I'm going to start with market penetration. And what market penetration is when a firm is trying to increase the sales of their present products, current products that they are making in its present markets. exactly where they're trying to sell them. They're just trying to increase sales of their current products in the current markets where they're selling them. Now, some examples of this, they may try to strengthen the relationships that they have with their current customers, to maybe increase how often they use or buy these products. They may try to attract customers from the competition, attract some new users, all this kind of stuff. And an example that the book uses is Coleman, which they make thermoses and coolers and outdoor equipment. And Coleman got a 50% increase in sales. This is really, that's huge. 50% increase in sales of its outdoor equipment by reaching its target market, its current target market, with special promotional displays at outdoor events, but especially NASCAR races. They just altered it a little bit. They put a NASCAR logo on some of their thermoses and coolers, and they really targeted these NASCAR fans, where these fans will camp out for days on end for an entire weekend, and even more than a weekend, to experience the entire race weekend. So that was a big deal for them. Market development is trying to increase sales by selling present products in new markets. May involve searching for new uses for a product. The book refers to a company called E-Z-GO, a golf cart producer, that instead of just selling golf carts to golf courses and country clubs, they started selling golf carts to airports and malls and factories to help their employees get around quicker and easier. Product development means offering newer improved products for present markets. A firm might need to find new ways to satisfy customers' needs and wants. Come up with new products or changing their current products. In 2003, the book refers to Campbell's Soup, and they came out with a line of soup that is 25%, that has 25% less sodium in it than compared to its regular products. And within 5 years, that line of soup, that slight little change, resulted in a $650 million sales revenue. Lastly, diversification simply means moving into totally different lines. You have new products, new markets. You have to completely change your line of thinking. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The book uses a couple examples, but the one I'm picking out is one that was a failure. It happens to be McDonald's. They opened 2 hotels in Switzerland to serve families on weekends and businessmen during the week. Their Golden Arch Hotels, as they were called, within 2 years was taken over by another company. So just some examples there. The checking your knowledge here, just for the sake of time, I just want to give you a little bit of information. This one here, make sure you read through this one carefully, all right, because you have to understand with this one, what the university is trying to do is to increase enrollment by selling their current product, summer school, their current product, to a new group of students who are home for the summer. Students who are not normally enrolled there. So this one you're looking at option B as the best option. We talked about market penetration here. Again, there's the example of the Coleman cooler with the NASCAR logo on it as well. Another checking your knowledge with this one, this Electronic Superstore and their special coupons. The best option for this one, as you read through it, you have your 5 options down below. The Superstore is trying to increase the rate of sales of its present products by through its current customers or present customers. So what you're looking here is A as the best option. Okay, again, here's product development. This one here is just simply showing an example of a Heinz ketchup print advertisement. And what they're trying to do is reach their present products in present markets, just showing you that they use real tomatoes, real products, and all that as well. Okay, lastly, with this one, just a couple key things here. Some key issues. The first one, the world is getting smaller, simply just means traditional barriers, international barriers are being broken down in favor of more trade. Telecommunications, internet, things like that are helping as well. Competitive advantage simply means successful expansion into international markets can help drive down costs for companies. Marketers may also find better trends in international markets. You may be more successful internationally than you are domestically, but there are also high risks in regards to international markets that you need to be aware of, such as cultures, translations, and all that. This brings us to the end of Chapter 2. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or just bring them to class.